The room went completely quiet, and nobody on the panel expected that response. The moment Jake Gyllenhaal leaned forward and answered the question, you could actually hear the audience react. It started like any normal interview on The View. The hosts were chatting, the crowd was laughing, and everything seemed relaxed. But then the conversation slowly started turning serious. Jake was talking about public conversations in Hollywood, how sometimes debates become more about headlines than real dialogue. At first, the hosts were curious. They asked a few follow-up questions. Nothing unusual. But then Whoopi Goldberg leaned in and asked him something directly. Do you think shows like this contribute to the problem you're talking about? The audience immediately went quiet. It was one of those moments where everyone realizes the conversation just got very real. Jake paused for a second, looked around the table, and then answered. Sometimes, yes. And the room reacted instantly. Some people in the audience gasped. Others clapped. A few looked completely stunned that he said it out loud. You could see the reaction on the hosts' faces too. Joy leaned back in her chair like she couldn't believe the conversation had just turned in that direction. Sunny started pressing him with more questions. And Whoopi just looked at him for a second before responding. Because now the discussion wasn't just about Hollywood anymore. Now it was about the show itself. Jake tried to explain what he meant. He said conversations on television sometimes move so fast that complicated topics get turned into quick arguments instead of real discussions. And that's when the tension at the table really started building. The audience started reacting after almost every sentence. Some people agreed with Jake. Others clearly didn't. And the hosts kept challenging him, asking if he understood why people might disagree with what he was saying. At one point, the conversation even turned personal when Jake admitted there are opinions he's held back from sharing publicly. That moment shocked the room again, because once that was said, everyone wanted to know exactly what he meant. The discussion kept getting deeper, the reactions kept getting louder, and suddenly a normal interview had turned into one of the most intense conversations the show had seen in a long time. And the craziest part? The biggest moment of the debate hadn't even happened yet. Because later in the conversation, something was said that made the entire audience react at the same time. If you want to see how the argument actually ended, and what happened after the cameras stopped rolling, make sure you subscribe to the Star Talks, like the video, and stay tuned for the full story coming in the next video.